I understand a lot of people love the GameCube opening eye catch, so I decided to leave it in as we play a GameCube exclusive called Geist from 2005, developed by N-Space. This game is a very, very minor footnote in gaming history because it is the second M-rated game that Nintendo ever published. A lot of people remember the first M-rated game Nintendo ever published. That was Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem. Widely beloved to this day. But this game, which is slightly less old than that one is, largely forgotten. I haven't heard anyone say a peep about it in, I want to say, over a decade. So we're going to take a look at it, maybe figure out why it is so much less remembered than that beloved classic. First, I'm going to point out that it has native widescreen because Nintendo didn't screw around with the games they published. We have all the bells and whistles that would become standard on future consoles. But this one had it before the PS2, and I doubt it was even standard on the Xbox. And it was not common on many GameCube titles, but the ones Nintendo published, they made sure to have it on there. Also, I should point out, this game is M-rated. It's not terribly violent. It sort of just barely surpasses the Time Splitters of the era to just get that M rating, but it's right on the cusp. Not too violent. I do consider it to be a psychological horror game, though. We are going to draw into question matters of free will and personal determination, and we will be doing some horrifically immoral things solely to achieve progress in this video game. So, fair warning, this game kind of disturbs the hell out of me, but maybe you will be different. Only one way to find out, and that is by beginning with a brand new empty save, and get into a bunch of lengthy cutscenes that are honestly fairly generic, but we need to know the story before we really get our hands dirty with Geist. We have our control scheme here. We can actually change it if we want to. All it does is put all movement on the left analog stick, which no one really wants. This is the standard control stick that won over all future video games, so we're sticking with it. One very important thing down at the bottom of our control scheme: hold reload to holster. If you forget that, you will not be able to complete the second chapter of this game. So, pay close attention, make sure you've memorized that. I certainly have. Let's roll.
I've attached the latest intel on the Vox mission. As you already know, Tom Bryson has been working undercover at a Vox weapons facility in a remote area of southern France. On the surface, it appears to be a normal lab site, but infrared telemetry suggests a massive underground complex. We have reason to believe that Vox is potentially developing a chemical or biological agent there. That's where you come in. About 3 days ago, we received a garbled communication from Bryson. We cleaned it up as best as we could, and were able to make out the word virus and what sounds like the word demon. But the jury's still out on that one. Tom Bryson is a good man and always spoke highly of you, John. I know we can depend on you.
I honestly thought Flight of the Valkyries might start playing during that last shot with the helicopters and the dramatic strings.
Hold. Raimi, stay here. Alpha team, move up. We're live. What's going on, Raimi?
It's almost time to actually press a button. Not quite, though. We gotta wait till we get instructions to do so from our superior officer here. Equipment check. He wants us to open our map by pressing the left button on the D-pad. Our map is honestly very, very good. You get a lot of information. It's super easy to read, very responsive. It opens quickly. The game is rather linear, but sometimes you may find yourself in need of a map, and the map we are provided is superb. We also have the ability to magically display some objectives. Right now, we just need to retrieve some viral data. Surely that is all we will need to do. Just check that off the list and we will complete the game. Head on home. Mission successful.
It's about time. Yes, Raimi.
And here's our good friend Tom Bryson, telling us right where the viral sample is. We're like 10 steps away from it. He wants us to make sure we know how to use our PDA. And he demands that we prove it. Here it is, Tom. Check it out. Look at this thing. See, I know how to use it. I'm a pro. There we go. Yep. Definitely got my PDA. Ready to make expert use of it.
What's going on, Raimi?
So, now we get to move. Tom's right here.
Raimi.
We could ask him why he said the word demon in his distress message. But, no. He really wants us to get on with our mission. What about you, Julio? Nope. Definitely wants this thing over with. No one wants to be here any longer. But Raimi does. That's our character. Our hero. Some kind of monstrosity inside the box. This is more or less a generic Metal Gear Solid so far. But the presence of strange life forms makes it a little more Half-Life-ish. Like over here. A piece of a tentacle that one of the scientists was dissecting. We can actually bring up all of the text logs. Somewhere around here. There they are. Apparently they're not telling us anything about them yet. Let's see. There they are. This counts as 0% because there are so many text logs in the game that even getting these two first ones doesn't even come close to 1%. Ah, well. But we'll be able to keep track of our collectibles and whatnot.
Sir.
These surrendered scientists could be dangerous. They're more worried that we might be dangerous. And frankly, we've got the guns, so they might be correct. But anyway, that's all they had to say. There's plenty more crap to look at. Look, this thing. A blue tube. Let's see if we can't figure out what that stuff is. workstation. Like, they expect you to go and look at every single thing, but a lot of the flavor text is rather bland. Some of it is incredibly interesting. I'll try and grab those, but I definitely will not be getting 100% of the text log. It is tedious. Here we have an actual quest item. Interface our PDA with that microscope. Keep zooming in. Zoom all the way into viruses. I don't know if it's still the case, but when I was a kid, I was frequently told in school that viruses were too small to be seen by any existing microscopes. Probably science has come far enough that that is no longer the case. Certainly according to the video game Geist, which is 100% scientifically accurate at all times. So we completed our objective. We saved Tom, we captured the evil scientists, we're good to go.
Alert! Security breach in
We've got
progress.
company.
Lab 7,
Move out.
Sector 2. Armed intruders have been confirmed.
Sir.
Naturally, they have some backup. They're not gonna take it lying down that we are stealing their virus. Rather, just the information on how to make the virus and presumably counteract it,
What's going on, Raimi?
if we're the good guys. Hard to say at this moment. Gun time. Oh, I'll try not to shoot my foot off. Shoot your foot off instead. Lucky he's bulletproof.
What's going on, Raimi?
We have to do the crouch, or else it won't let us advance. And our little character model in the corner, he also crouches, which is kind of adorable. Do some shooting, not very impactful. Our gun is garbage. But it does one-hit kill if we get a headshot. And I'm out of ammo. There we go. The soldiers who are escorting us are useless. They are relying on us to do most of the killing. Fortunately, it is very, very easy to do all the killing.
Johnson, how's your door coming?
Almost got it.
Well, that's what you get for setting off explosives in a building that transports gigantic quantities of virus in huge tubes. Probably not the best idea, but these guys aren't the infiltrators. They're just the guys who get us out after we've done our job. They aren't paid to think. Hopefully, they get us out before everyone is killed in the entire world. Super not even worried about protecting myself. Just slowly lining up headshots. Now with 3 enemies, there is a small risk of death, but there are far too many health refills. This is technically a first-person shooter. That is certainly not the focus of the gameplay. And it'd be a very, very bad first-person shooter if it was. I consider it more of, like I said, a psychological horror game and a puzzle game. But we will get to that. Also, we have infinite ammunition. I was reminded by the guy on his intercom, saying that he needs a refill. Reload. This seems like bad news. The blue goo is sprayed all over the place. Doesn't seem to be bothering us, though. Not at the moment. I did just watch a video about radium, and how people were, for many years, encouraged to put it in their mouths, until they learned that it was dangerous to do so. Here we have to actually talk to the guy.
Raimi.
That will magically unlock the door. It is voice activated.
Hold. Cover me. Move forward.
I'm all right.
Like I said, a little more violent than your time splitters. Not too terribly much, but it gets that M rating. Here's the creature who murders anyone who does not have a plot-relevant name. Although he will also murder us if we try to pass. Doesn't actually block the path, but he does slash us with his claws. And that so bothers Raimi that he refuses to travel any further. So we gotta go through a very slow boss fight that is very rarely vulnerable to our tiny little pistol. So it's gonna take a while. Sometimes I get a little bored here, try to explore. That is unwise, because that hole in the ground leads to a pool of the blue juice, and you fall down there, you die instantly. So I won't be doing that. Already made so much progress in this boss fight, wouldn't want to waste it. Usually you only get one shot when he's vulnerable, but I showed off that sometimes you get 2 or 3. Can't fire at him when he's firing at us, for no good reason. I did blow an opportunity to shoot him there while he was roaring. My bad. There we go. Probably one more cycle here. Gets more and more shots off each time. Only took 1 bullet there. There we finally go. And even now, we could fall to our deaths if we so decided that we wanted to. Ah, that poor janitor. He was probably the monster's first victim. Wouldn't want to worry about the monster too bad right now. It dealt a great deal of sanity damage to our characters, but it's fine now. One last health refill, and we'll head for the elevator. Yeah, there's already some soldiers waiting for us. We are well protected on our path out of here.
This is Overlord. We're hovering directly above your position, ready for extraction. Move forward. Let's get you topside, sir.
Parker, are you okay?
God, what are you doing?
With all due respect, sir, why are we bothering with a civilian for the separation experiments?
Compassion, Rourke? That's rather uncommon for a mercenary.
Don't get me wrong. I was gonna have the little weasel shot before you stepped in. I still think we need someone with combat experience.
As I recall, most of your professionals were driven mad. It's time we tried something different. Our training simulators will give him all the skills he needs. When they are complete, he won't even remember his name.
I'm betting we'll be scraping ethereal crap off the inside of this pod by morning.
Don't be so sure. I think things will be very different with this one.
Don't worry, everything is fine. In fact, everything is perfect. You have ascended to something greater than what you were. Explore your new surroundings. You're safe and free. Plants are good for you. They make you healthy. Try one. That's better. Oh, look. A beautiful animal. See how slowly the world moves now. No need to hurry anymore. See how its aura glows. It changes from white to yellow to red. When it's red, you can possess the animal. Try it. You can now experience life in ways you never imagined. See what you can do now. Very good. Now try leaving the animal and exploring. Good. You're doing very well. The world
is peaceful.
Reload your weapon. This is kill them. Your new
Kill them all.
home.
So we've been prematurely rescued from our creepy training simulator by a creepy child. Just remember that it is villainous to kill them all. If we had completed our training regimen, that is exactly what we would be doing. But fortunately, Gigi has saved us and we do not have to do that. Now she's beckoning us over here. Teaches us how to slip through certain holes in the wall. As an ethereal ghost. Can't travel through just any wall, though. We're not that ethereal. Here in this room that we found ourselves in, there's a green mist over here in front of the mirror. And inside the mirror, even though Gigi is not out here, we can see her inside that alternate world. I didn't get a great angle on us. There we go. Much better. So it's time for our possession tutorial. Lots and lots of tutorials. Like she said, or also how, like the creepy narrator in our evil trial also said, we can eat plants, and that refills our ghost health. When we are a ghost, we slowly lose energy, and we can ghost die. Eating plants prevents that. And possessing objects also keeps us from ghost dying. We can be this mop bucket. Ooh, scary. See? A is the scare button. Anyone whose job has ever been to mop things up? Yeah. This probably does bring back horrible memories. But that's not Raimi. Raimi's a scientist. How about over here? A shooting gallery, which we can possess and play a little minigame. Now we are the shooting gallery, shooting that which is a part of ourselves. We have a penetrative shot that can shoot 2 ducks at once. We also can shoot 2 adjacent things up here. And we can shoot the Iron Eagle as many times as we want. As fast as I can press the button, it's as fast as I can fire. There is absolutely no reward for getting all the targets. It's just a fun little diversion. We actually didn't even need to possess this thing. But it's one of the more fun objects in the area. And the least fun object in the area is over here. A rat in a trap. Still alive, but suffering horribly. Let's share in its suffering for no good reason. Can't quite put an end to it, but oh well. We're not a very merciful Geist. Schwalk Ale. One of the employees just tossed a full can of ale in the back room. Now we can roll around as it. Play as a beer can. In this thrilling video game. The best part is what the scare is. Let's drive right over to this mouse here. Spray some beer on it. Hopefully that sustains it a little longer. Or hopefully not. Either way, I don't think that rat's gonna be too happy. And a paint can. This one we actually have to hammer the button many times. And that will detonate the paint. Terrifying. There's, how much Volks cares is that he has a awful totalitarian face demanding you to work. There's one more object over there, but Gigi wants to activate a cutscene, allowing us to explode this thing. But not quite yet. I want to play with the dynamo first. Got a really bad camera angle on it, but charge it up. We'll begin to generate electricity. Enough to power a small light bulb. In a room that is already quite well lit. Who put this here? But anyway, like she said, we can now possess this thing. Potentially useful if shot or disturbed. So we are going to disturb it. Ghost style. Just takes one press of the button, and that wall is gone. Now we've unlocked the ability to float. And time to use our ability to go through walls. So that tutorial on the possession of objects was great and all, but it is time to get into what really makes this Geist, and that is human possession. This is why when we did possess an object, the action command was labeled scare, because we can't become a human unless they're terrified. And so we need to use objects in the vicinity to scare them. I know I hate phones. Let us make this poor sleeping janitor hate phones too.
Huh?
Bad enough that it's ringing, but what if it were to speak backwards? And then the final horror, an exploding garbage can. That opened him up to losing control of his body, to a ghost. But not that ghost. Gigi can't do it. So she demands that we instead possess this hapless victim. And we're human again. Hooray. We can even answer this phone.
Hello? Is someone there? Listen, I'm all by myself down here and no one will give me a straight answer. They just told me to activate my barrier, and if anyone comes up acting suspiciously, to shoot them on sight. What's going on? Hello? Hello?
That sounds like it could be bad news. Let's try not to act suspiciously.
All personnel are to report to their section commanders for immediate possession screening. Repeat, all personnel report to your section commanders for immediate possession screening. The next spirit separation remains on schedule.
Seems like they have the technology to scan for possession. Very bad news for us.
Beg your pardon?
But we do get to irritate these scientists. Technically, this should be seen as acting suspiciously, but they don't care. Even this guy with gigantic eyeballs is not very observant of our strange behavior. But we can't play with the computers. Perhaps we should try and possess one of these scientists. But they're not scared right now. They've got the white aura, and for some reason we can't possess the computers to scare them. We just don't feel like it right now. But we can hop right back in our janitor. Get back to bothering more scientists. Like this guy. It's his first day. And he's not used to being surrounded by malicious ghosts. And he's also being shunned by the more senior scientists. So he's headed back here to work as hard as he can before he gets yelled at by his supervisor. Just past him is this secret dead end that is totally pointless. The only reason it exists is as a very subtle hint that there exists an area underneath the stairwell, which we can creep through like some kind of weird stalker, and therein find spitting V's. That's our first host collectible. So there are a variety of collectibles in this game, and many of them you have to be possessing someone in order to collect. And other ones you can collect as a ghost. We'll be seeing some of those before the video is out. But for now, we've clearly done all we can down there. They're getting sick of us. Can't go through that door. Hopefully this door is unlocked, or else we are at a complete dead end and will not be able to get any further in the game. What do you know? Luck's on our side. They are railroading us directly where we need to go. Very lucky for our ghost. He would be screwed if this place had just the slightest bit tighter security. Maybe it does.
Sir.
This guy is paid to be suspicious, but instead, he's just lonely. He's happy to hang out with the janitor as he walks back and forth around this room.
Sir.
We may recognize this room, and specifically this part of this room. This is where they were keeping our soul and putting it through that weird training program that broke down. GG freed us. They've left the panel that was keeping us under lock and key just smoldering. Because they've, I guess, got bigger problems right now. Those problems being us. So, we learned how to scare people using garbage cans from GG. But, more importantly, we've got this object here. It's a containment CPU identical to the one that GG exploded. Thus, we will be able to explode it. But not as a human. This janitor was not trained in how to blow things up, but our ghost certainly has been. So we hop in there, get irritated by loud noises and bright flashing lights, weird lasers firing out of gyroscopes. Who knows how this thing works, but with a single press of a button it explodes, drawing the attention of the suspicious guard. But he's not scared of it, even though it is very expensive machinery that just exploded on his watch. What he's truly scared of, much like the janitor, no wonder they were so quick to be friendly, because this guy is also horrified of exploding garbage cans. The ultimate nightmare. I'm sorry if anyone watching this just had to run out of the room in terror, reminded by their true deep-seated fear of garbage cans spraying out confetti. This guy's living that nightmare, and he's about to live an even worse nightmare.
I'm betting we'll be scraping ethereal crap off the inside of this pod by morning.
Don't be so sure. I think things will be very different with this one.
The other prisoners being prepped for separation. Busy night for you, huh?
So, he was one of the guards present at our separation. And as GG explains here, sometimes when you possess someone who had some plot-relevant event occur, you will see that plot-relevant event in their memories. Anyone played Prototype? It is the same thing as the Web of Intrigue, but several years earlier. It's honestly kind of neat. So at this point, we are playing as an armed guard. Here's our last hapless victim. But we could make him even more of a victim by shooting him in the face right now. It would not benefit us at all to do this, but we also would face no negative consequences whatsoever. I'm not going to do that because this game is screwed up enough as it is. We don't need to do additional horrible things, but like I said, the game doesn't punish you at all for doing that kind of stuff. I remember when Grand Theft Auto was big and controversial. One of the few arguments in favor of Grand Theft Auto was that at least there were negative consequences for doing horrible things. Like you murder someone in the street, and you do that 4 or 5 times, you will get a wanted star, and the police will chase after you. Now, in actuality, that was just more fun gameplay. Like, you wanted police to chase you in Grand Theft Auto. That was part of the fun. But supposedly, people who censored video games, or at least wanted them censored, that was an argument against their reasons to censor them. Because there were technically consequences to your bad actions. In this game, that is not the case. You could do any horrible thing your heart desires, and no one will stop you. Apparently, this new guy has the ability to turn off the alarm and generate a bypass code for us to progress further.
Can I help you with something?
And, he's just sticking around while everyone else evacuated. He gives us the helpful advice to put away our gun, should we find anyone else. And if you didn't pay attention to the tiny little note at the bottom of the control scheme, then you would not know how to put away your gun. There's us. Our body, which is now a corpse because our soul is free roaming. Apparently Tom Bryson is scheduled for the same fate. What else have we got? Now that we have access to the computers, courtesy of that very, very trusting scientist. Got a spec op test of some sort. An incident in the science wing. I believe that was perhaps our escape. Or perhaps not. We are seeking transit to the science wing, where there appears to be an exit. We got a new objective. Find the entrance to the science wing, and hopefully save Tom Bryson, our good friend, with whom we have a secret handshake, an unbreakable bond. And now we have a bypass code, 9235. That is going to get us through that locked door. This body we possessed is incredibly useful. Everyone trusts it. Can do all sorts of useful stuff, and it has a gun. Just carefully navigate this very slow keypad to crack open the door and head on our way.
Sir.
What say you, fellow soldier? He's scared of the ghost. Except not really. He considered it inevitable. Gigi's here to explain another mechanic. Dogs that can see our souls. They're mad at us for being a ghost. So, if you're ever around a dog, that dog starts freaking out, it's probably because you've got the wrong soul in your body. You should get that fixed. There's also cockroaches. They don't mind us. They will come right for us, honestly. What are you doing there, little buddy? Aw. I like the cockroaches, although they are evidence of this place being horribly maintained. Like it is a gross mess. Now, what we can see is behind this dog here. One of those, slip portals. Dog doesn't like us, but he's not scared, so we can't possess him. What we can do is just go right past him. Slip through the wall. Follow a lengthy path to a teddy bear. A creepy ghost teddy bear. And that increases our spiritual energy. Our life meter when we are a ghost. This is not terribly useful because there's almost always a object to possess very nearby when you are a ghost. But it's something. We'll be getting the ghost collectibles, mostly because they're in interesting locations. Now at this point, we could take our borrowed body and just start blasting dogs. Because that's the kind of game this is. We could kill all the dogs. No consequences whatsoever. This game doesn't let you pet the dog, but it does let you kill the dog. And then this guy that we are possessing would wake up with the memory of having blasted a room full of dogs. That would be in his future. I am not going to do that to him, but again, this is a game that allows you to do that with no consequences at all. Now we can actually go see the dogs. The reticle actually suggests that we shoot them. Again, not going to. I only open the cages because there's another host collectible. More floating Vs. Consummate Vs, you might say. And that unlocks a multiplayer level. That's what all the host collectibles do. You get 2 of them usually, and it unlocks some kind of multiplayer bonus.
Sir.
Hard to say.
Sir.
This guy should go on strike. I don't think Volks is a union, though. Kind of a bummer. Luckily, he was not in the room where the dogs were freaking out, so no one is the wiser.
Stop here, soldier. Move along.
So there is the barrier. What is the deal with the barrier? Well, we can't go through the barrier as a ghost. We have to possess somebody. And there's a dog also monitoring the barrier. So they'll know if a possessed person is trying to pass by. Most importantly right now is we put our gun away. Because, as stated, these guys are jumpy. They will shoot us on sight. As he now tells us. If we'd walked up to him with our gun out, would have just shot us in the face. And then the whole room would have started shooting us. and then we'd be dead. Like I said, we need this host to go through the barrier, but the dog will invariably tip them off that the host is possessed. Nonetheless, we gotta bust out our gun. And either kill the dog or kill all the humans. Because the dog can't stop us, but the humans can. Now, obviously, it was like 5-1 there. They murdered our guy. Sorry, human. You've served your purpose. Luckily, there's a scared man who spawns in the back of the room every time your host dies. This scared man is very jumpy himself. He will kill the enemy soldiers. Once they're all dead, we can pass by the barrier. Sorry, dog. You're just doing your job. Think we can put away our gun and just not be bothered? Nope, they know somehow. Now they're just gonna shoot everybody they see. So we have to shoot them first. Another dog, once again, gives us away the second we walk in the room. You get to play with explosive barrels. Or explosive boxes in this case. That guy wanted his last words to be, "Oh crap." And a lot of the rest of this level is just shooting stuff. And collecting host collectibles. Always an important bonus. Don't want to blow ourselves up, though. Our business here is concluded. Let's see if we can't find another health pack. That'll do. Now we can leave our host here. He'll go into a possession coma. Down here, we've got some guards who happen to be right next to explosive racks. Bad news for them, because we can kill them as a ghost. There was a second one here. He just, I guess, turned to dust. Poor guy. And looks like the coast is clear. I would not be surprised if enemies spawned in. But we're gonna need to spawn them in one way or another. So we hop back in our host. Traverse this hallway. Yep, there he is. Make sure we're good and reloaded. And follow the path of this conveyor. This weird doodad in the environment.
Get out. I don't want to give this scum any more bodies to possess. Contact Rourke and tell him the situation's under control.
Boss fight. Guy with a shield and grenades and a laser pistol. Come on, fire your laser pistol. Don't make me look like a jerk here. Thank you. He often puts his shield down, so we're gonna try and shoot him in the head anytime he does that. He's pretty tough though, so he can take numerous bullets to the face. But if we shoot him in the face while he is prepping a grenade, he'll drop it at his own feet. Then, we can possess it. Luckily, we had a tutorial on possessing objects that can roll around. Back of that beer can, we can roll it under his shield and blow him up for a huge chunk of damage. Really speed up this boss fight. Then we're gonna want to get back in our real host for a couple moments. Definitely want to be quick about it, because Cord will shoot him while he is in that coma. Almost got him while he was throwing the grenade. He got stuck on the object in the middle of the room there. What is this object? It is a plaque commemorating the start of construction. Almost 90 years ago. Where you at? There he is. Got a little lost while I was reading that. There's another grenade. We'll move it behind his shield. Blow him up nice and quick this time. He's in a bit of a coma himself. And we will try and repeat this process, such that we are the victor. That pistol does hurt a lot, though. Don't underestimate it. Ah. Blew my chance there. He gave me another one, and I blew it again. Let's just refill our health. Let's see if we can't wrap this up. He's not scared of us, but he is sick of us and flees the arena, leaving us to just explore a little more. He's done trying to kill us. He almost had us, quite honestly. Don't want to admit it, but it's a fact. So we can see this beautiful Art Deco statue, which is crawling with bugs and flies, because this place is so gross, and it happens to be a possession target. Oh, bad guys are here. So before we possess that, let us save our host. Wouldn't want him to survive the boss fight just to die to some random soldier. Get him out of here. That should buy us some time. So we'll possess the statue and see what he can do for us. It can point accusingly at things. So let's do a sick 180 on this thing and open some secret doors. Classic 1927 architecture. Secret passageways which lead to host collectibles. That is the fourth and final one for this second level of the game. The first level had no collectibles whatsoever, unless you count text logs. But really, the first level had no gimmick to it, had a very generic storyline. I obviously had to cram the second level into this video as well, because it's where things get real interesting. We can sort of see how this game goes. We hop from target to target, using their special attributes to solve puzzles. I have 0 HP, and I haven't seen a health pack in a little while. There's one, just in time. Maybe there's a second, indeed. So this first possession level really only gives us the two targets. but there will be many, many more. This game is basically Space Station Silicon Valley. Or if you are not versed in your Rockstar games from the N64 era, in which case, shame on you, but I will forgive you this one time. Then you might recognize this as the gameplay gimmick for Super Mario Odyssey. Which, I suppose, is technically a more correct comparison, since that game was also published by Nintendo. They certainly were aware of Geist when they made Super Mario Odyssey. So, in many ways, this is a prequel to Super Mario Odyssey. Cappy's a Geist, y'all. This is an origin story for Cappy. The two old men said you were different. Those were the creeps having that conversation, saying they should have killed us. But the guy in the cyber wheelchair with the bolo tie said no. Turn us into a Geist instead. They also mentioned that many of the soldiers they put through this process have gone mad. Perhaps we were introduced to one that possessed the guy right as we were trying to escape in the helicopter, and shot us in the gut and then in the head, which we somehow survived. Anyway, they got Bryson. Her brother is the one who separated her from her body. It's kind of screwed up. There are no good guys here in Geist. I guess she can't go with us. We are never going to see Gigi again. Just when we were getting to like her. We probably should not throw our body off of this waterfall here. But we should throw our ghost body off of it. There's a second platform down here. This has another transport vehicle in it. We don't care about that one either. We want to go all the way to the bottom. Sink in the water because there's another ghostly teddy bear. Our second ghost collectible. That is all the collectibles for this here level. Luckily there's a hole to slip through down here. Good thing, or we'd have been stuck. And it brings us right back to our host. He may now press this button. That'll bring the tram car over as heroic music plays. And we slay many of our fellow guards as we escape the area. We've come too far to be stopped now. They put up very little fight. Raimi is very good at possessing soldiers to make them kill everybody. I say that, and I missed a bunch of times. Wish I had blown up that box to kill them, but instead I just mangled their corpses. Imagine that that actually happened on the character models, because this game is barely M-rated. Locked door. So we gotta open this pipe and shoot our soul through it. And that'll conclude this leg of our journey. This strange, gimmicky game has much more to offer. But that's it for now. I hope to see you next time as we continue our journey through Geist.